And we start with new news this morning. The troubled State Department that's supposed to protect New Mexico kids is under fire once again. Lawmakers asked the Children's Youth and Families Department for a lot of information in the wake of the Omari Varela killing last session.
Now 8 months after the deadline, some legislators say the department still has not delivered. News 13's Catherine Mazzone has more on that. Catherine?
Good morning, Adam. Crystal. One senator says he's been pushing for answers from CYFD since before Omari's death by inviting the department to community meetings, but says CYFD was always a no-show. He says a formal request isn't working either.
It's almost comical that we can't get this information. I mean, this is very, very important stuff here.
Senator Michael Padilla is frustrated lawmakers can't get their hands on information he believes could help improve CYFD.
Now we're having to, really practically beg the CYFD department to help get this information.
The troubled department has been under a microscope since the kicking death of 9-year-old Omari Varela, police say by his mother. His case shed light on major problems within CYFD. 3 times APD was called to investigate abuse against Omari. There were 9 referrals to CYFD. Soon after, a firestorm of questions erupted for CYFD. Even the governor weighed in.
It makes no sense for an officer and caseworker to investigate the same incident and never share notes.
Lawmakers passed a joint memorial last session asking CYFD for answers, like the number of cases their Protective Services Division opened. They asked for a report by November. CYFD tells us it delivered, but Padilla says it was incomplete.
A director from the CYFD department came to one of the legislative committees that the report was to be delivered to and rattled off just a few numbers and a few data points.
So News 13 compared the joint memorial with the minutes from that committee meeting. Of the 16 categories requested, CYFD directly addressed 7. 2 were not addressed at all. Since it was a verbal report, a CYFD director told the committee a complete written report would be ready within weeks and presented at public meetings. Padilla says the public is still waiting.
That was never done, so I'm very concerned about that, and that's completely unacceptable.
For several days, we tried to work with CYFD to get an on-camera interview with the CYFD secretary, but we're told she would not be available. They did send us a statement, but it did not answer our questions. If you want to read it, I've posted it along with the story on our website, KRQE.com. Back to you.
Thank you, Catherine. We've also posted the joint memorial listing the questions for CYFD and the minutes of the meeting so that you can see for yourself the department's answers. To be clear, a joint memorial is not a law, it's a recommendation.